also joining, and the colleagues that might be joining from another university, as well as our intern researcher from the PRIKKATE. This is a very good morning for us, even though it is raining outside. So without further ado, we will start our mini conference today. So the video is actually the brand new one. That's why we haven't attached the subtitle to it. So I hope you guys after this could follow our YouTube channel and you will see the video with the subtitle after that. So thank you for watching the video of our profile. We have actually supplied you with the profile of our school in each table, so you could see what kind of program that we actually provide, and also the professor that we have up until now, and all the details that you can see from the books. And then, without further ado, I would like to give the next opportunity to our Dean of School of Strategic and Global Studies, Associate Professor Ator Subroto, to give the welcome remark to you, please.
Good morning, very good morning, everybody, especially Associate Professor Zhao Rong from the Departemen Bahasa dan Sastra Asing, Tsinghua University, Beijing. Thank you for your coming, and Bu Heni, head of the European Studies Program, Master Program, and also Prof. Wang. This is one of our associate researcher here in School of Strategic and Global Studies. I already knew him from our colleague from Universitas Negeri Jakarta, or J. Welcome, Prof. Wang. And Prof. Wang, I think, also will contribute to this mini conference. And also here we can see Bu Ika as a lecturer, senior lecturer in European Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, and Pak Fuad also from American Studies Master Program. And last but not the least, students from Tsinghua University, and also from our school, intern students. Thank you very much for coming to this mini conference. It is all our pleasure to host you all to this mini conference, and I again welcome you all, and I hope you enjoy all, as Prof. Zhao Rong said that this is the first time for you and maybe for your students too to visit our campus, to visit Indonesia maybe, and that's why I like to say again welcome to our school. This is actually our old campus. We have two campuses here in Salemba as old campus, and we have new little bit remote from here, Depok campus, bigger one actually, and newer. As you may say that our school is a multidisciplinary thought in this university. More or less, it is around 1980 as a postgraduate school. Now it's transformed to be School of Strategic and Global Studies. Still, we hold multidiscipline, transdiscipline, and what we can say, cross-disciplinary approach here in our school. So we have unique program studies actually here in School of Strategic and Global Studies. We have European Studies, American Studies, Japanese Studies, or Islamic and Middle East Studies. And also we have like gender studies, resilient studies, urban studies, and many more, I think. So in this mini conference, we take the theme of the Belt and Road Initiative, the role of Chinese enterprises in green and digital economy, as well as in its relation with ASEAN. So I think, as I already mentioned before, as I invited to be a speaker at Juve, Jiangxi University Financial and Economics, I said that belt in this initiative, I think Belt and Road Initiative, I think one of the, what we can say, the most breakthrough initiative in today's situation. Belt and Road Initiative make country surrounding uh, Chinese like ASEAN, East Asia, or Southern Asia, or Western Asia become one big economy. So by this initiative, we can grow together and grow stronger, as what we imagine to embrace embrace our future of more prosperous economic and life. And also Indonesia, I think, also welcoming most this initiative to make a better connection, economic, social, culture, and many in many perspectives. We also have implemented some of this initiative in Indonesia, like, as you understand, also especially for Indonesia, so we have already built the uh, super fast train in Indonesia. We call it WUS. Well, we enjoy a lot this rail fast train. Ladies and gentlemen, students, and all colleagues, I always support this kind of initiative, and also this conference to bridge our idea, to discuss our ideas about how we can take the best part of the future, of our future, by cooperation, by working together as one to build a more stronger economy, and any thing that we can make our society, our people better and better. So by this mini conference, I hope uh, will be a place to exchange our ideas, discussing our ideas, so many ideas and so much perspective, so we can take so much benefit from this, let's say, mini conference. And also we have to also thanks to the committee, uh, especially from Tsinghua University, and also for from our school. Again, welcome to this conference, especially for uh, Professor Zhao Rong and your students. I hope we can uh, take much benefit from this conference. Thank you very much and enjoy the mini conference. A very good one.
Thank you for your remarks, Dr. Ratar Subroto. As we continue to the second remark from Professor Chow Rong, yes, please deliver your remarks. Do you have the translator for you to deliver the remark? Yeah. Any would you mind? Uh, I mean, maybe for the introduction first.
Mau itu gimana?
OK，可以吗？尊敬的系主任，尊敬的各位教授，大家早上好，各位同学，大家好。
Good morning, dear professors and these are our dear students. Yeah.
OK， 不是，到底是先做简单致辞还是做这个呀？对，哦。OK。你可以介绍一下你的单位。我记得好像是应该是您。没关系，没关系，跟他说。好的，好。OK， 那个就是非常高兴来到世界名校印尼大学，非常高兴来到印尼大学的战略与国际化研究院。
I was truly delighted to be here at the University Indonesia and at the School of Strategic and Global Studies of University Indonesia.
刚才那个就是系主任在讲话当中讲的那个我特别的赞成，尤其是他讲到了就是让我们就是西亚、东亚、东南亚成为一个经济体，希望我们有更好的未来和更持续的发展，能够造福人民和社会。这一点我想就着这个再讲两句。事实上我下面的 PPT 我讲的内容也是跟这个相关的。
I totally agree with Dim's opinion on the making West Asia, East Asia, and Southeast Asia as a whole connected economy. And actually, I want to have a few more words about the topic. And actually, this one is connected to what we have prepared in the PowerPoint.
那么就是做这么一件非常重要的事情，在这样一个时代，我们要培养什么样的人才？我们是怎么去做的？我今天是想花大约10分钟时间，跟各位老师和同学分享一下我们的一些就是做法。
Today, I want to use 10 minutes to share about what we have done to cultivate the talents in this area and at these times.
OK， 那我就开始直接讲这个，好不 ？OK， Can I start this speech or first Professor Huang?
He made some presentation to introduce his department.
是我先讲吗？我先讲吗？还是您先讲？按会议程应该是您先讲。Thank you, Professor Huang. OK， 那就是实际上我们带学生来这次印度尼西亚是属于清华大学社会实践计划的一个部分。我们的清华大学的实践计划是从1958年开始有的，大概分成文化互鉴、专业认知、志愿服务和全球治理4大方面。
Our trip to the Indonesia is belong to the Tsinghua University's social practice program. And Tsinghua University have a long tradition of social practice program, and it was since 1958. And this program can be divided into 4 parts: the mutual learning among civilizations, to experience the diverse culture and research on development path, the cognition of professional knowledge, to explore the cutting edge of technologies and conducting academic research, the volunteer work, to provide specific solutions and to serve the people, global governance, to embrace the 3 major initiatives, courageously shouldering youth responsibilities.
那么下面再介绍一下我们清华大学外国语言文学系。我们这次支队呢，一共有16个人，可能主要的带队老师和支队长，是外国语言文学系的。外国语言文学系成立于1926年，是清华大学第一批本科，设置本科教育的院系，也是中国第一家正式的外国语言文学学科的教学和科研机构，可以说国际化。就是培养有国际视野人才的这个，是我们外文系，基因当中的一个特别重要的组成部分。
In this page, let us first introduce our the Department of Foreign Language and Literatures. We have 16 members in this team, and this team traveled to Indonesia, not the team in our department. And our structure and our team leaders are all came from the Department of Foreign Language and Literatures. And established in 1926, the Department of Foreign Language and Literature at Tsinghua University was among the first to offer undergraduate education and is China's first formal institution dedicated to the teaching and research of foreign language and literatures. That is to say, internationalization, that's the cultivation of internationalized students, is an integral part of the Department of Foreign Languages.
OK，最近几年呢，中国的外国语言文学学科增加了一个新的研究的学科方向，叫区域国别研究。这个学科方向呢是集语言、文化、历史、政治、经济于一体的开展学科研究和人才培养。我呢实际上在系里主要负责的是学科建设和科研工作。其实这次来完全是服务于我们同学的国际化的人才的成长。
In recent years, a new highlight have been added to the field of foreign language studies, namely regional and international studies. The focus of this study integrates language, culture, history, politics, and economics, conducting interdisciplinary research and talent development. And I was in charge of discipline construction and scientific research in the Department of Foreign Languages and Literatures. And I came here to Indonesia to lead the team and to guide the development of our internationalized students.
OK，就是疫情以后呢，大概就是这一年当中有2个假期，一个暑假，一个寒假。我们组织了一些海外，就其实也是同学们自主的，我们支持的做了一些海外实践的活动。暑假呢，一共有就是4个支队去往海外，有一个呢是去的是英国，他们做的主题呢调研的是国际传播方向，还有3个支队呢去的是日本，他们调研的分别是在日本的中国研究问题，还有就是可持续性发展，还有就是研究中国的国际形象在日本。OK， 周洋。
The next part is about the overseas social practice of the Department of Foreign Languages and Literatures. After the epidemic, we have 2 vacations, the summer vacation and the winter vacation. While in the summer vacation of 2023, we have 4 research teams. They are focused on the international communication in the United Kingdom, the research on China-Japan relations, China's image building in Japan, and the ESG and sustainable development. And in the winter vacation of 2024,
下面暑假这个寒假呢，我们这次是主要有3个团队，就是分别去往非洲的肯尼亚，还有就是澳洲的就是澳大利亚，还有一个就是我们来到就是印尼，分别我们调研的呢是在肯尼亚的中国企业的本土化，还有就是可持续性发展和绿色数字经济。
In this winter vacation of 2024, we have 3 research teams. One is focused on the localization of Chinese enterprises in Kenya. The other is focused on the sustainopia of Australia. And we are here in Indonesia to focus on the green and digital economy.
就是这个3角当中的，就是一个澳大利亚的支队。一个印度尼西亚的支队，还有一个日本的支队，是主要聚焦于可持续性的、绿色的、数字化的经济的发展模式，它们是一个整体。
The 3 highlighted ones are our research on the sustainable economy development, and they can be recognized as a whole.
OK。那么，下面呢就是介绍一下，就是我们在东京湾的这个可持续发展的这个支队， 还有就是我们来印尼的一些收获。那么先讲就是暑假的这个东京湾的这个支队。暑假东京湾这个支队呢，有外文系、社科学院、法学院、经管学院、建筑学院，还有哲学系的专业化、多元化的专业背景。一共有中国、日本、印尼，我们印尼同学非常活跃，一共11个人组成。
Today we'll be sharing 2 cases. One is about the team Sustainobia to Tokyo, and the other is the research conducted by our team. And let's first talk about a brief introduction of the Sustainobia research team focused on the ESG and sustainable development of Japan. And it is a diverse team comprising 11 students from various academic backgrounds, including Department of Foreign Languages, Social Science, Law and Economics and Management, and Architecture and Physics. And
OK，就是这个支队呢，就是参访了东京都的政策企划局，等一些政府部门，还去了龟甲湾，就是株式会社等一些企业，他们也跟东京大学等一些就是学校的同学也展开了一些青年的学生交流。
This team visited the Tokyo Metropolitan Bureau of Policy Planning and other government departments, as well as 6 companies, including Kikagakuwa. And the team engaged in youth exchange activities with local university students and students from Tokyo University.
他们的收获呢是，就是形成了一个1万多字的一个调研报告，主要呢是聚焦企业、政府和高校3大主体是如何就是联合采取政策推动东京湾区的可持续发展的。
The research team has produced a comprehensive report of over 10,000 words, focused on specific initiatives taken by business, governments, and universities, the 3 major stakeholders, in promoting sustainable development in the Tokyo Bay Area.
同时，支队成员呢对比东京湾区和粤港澳就是中国的广州、香港和澳门这个大湾区，它因为比较相似，它们之间的这个区域治理、区域可持续发展的一些，就是做了一些对比研究。
They analyzed between the Tokyo Bay Area and the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Manchu Great Bay Area, examining the similarities and differences in regional governance and sustainable development. The international case study were also employed for comparative research.
下面呢，简单介绍，就跟各位汇报一下我们这次来印度的一些情况。
And now is the time for an introduction of our research team to Indonesia.
我们这个支队呢，一共有16个人，有10位中国同学，有6位印尼的同学，专业背景呢有外文系、计算机系、电机系、经管系，应该还有法学院等。
And we are also a diverse group, and we have 16 students from various academic backgrounds, and including the Department of Foreign Language, Computer Science, Electric Engineering, Economic, Payment, Law, and Architecture. And we are a team consists of students from 10 from China and 6 from Indonesia.
OK。然后我们就是已经到来以后呢，就是参访了印尼银行、华为印尼、中国电信、雅万高铁等机构。然后我们现在正在来的是印尼大学，下面还要去伊斯兰教大学，还有其他的一些机构和研究机构和大学。
Our team have arrived here and visited institutions such as Bank of Indonesia, Huawei, China Telecom, and the KCIC. And we are here now at the University Indonesia, and we are planning to visit some other universities and some other agencies.
在这个过程当中，当然同学们形成了一些比较感性的认识，情感上的啊，就是因为他们在坐高铁的时候，采访了当地的就是司机还有大学生， 就得到一个比较统一的一个比较一致的一个想法，就是司机觉得挺高兴的，就是他们带动了他们的就业，因为有了雅万高铁以后呢，司机就是有了更多的工作。就是万隆理工大学的同学就表示说，因为有了高铁，他们回雅加达更方便了。这是一个。
During this research progress, we have some research findings currently, and the first one is through our interviews on the university students and taxi drivers. The driver expressed his gratitude that through the KCIC, it has a positive impact on the local employment. That is to say, he have more customers to enter his car, maybe. And the university students in Bandung expresses that the high-speed rail had made their commuting to and from school more convenient.
然后呢，还有一点印象特别深的呢是企业的社会责任和担当，因为华为跟我们反复强调了，就是他们希望能用就是技术，让我们就是这个世界变得更加便利、更加美好，能够可以就更加持续的，大家都可以发展的越来越好。就是雅万高铁也表示，他们是因为他们是一个合资企业。就是印尼方占了60%，中方占了40%，他们可以共同合作，让就是生活变得更加便利、更加美好。
In the discussion with those companies, we discovered that those enterprises in Indonesia are willing to use their advanced technologies to make the world a better place to live to. And through our communication with Huawei, they say that they are willing to focus on the development of local infrastructure. And we have also talked about this in the communication with KCIC, and they said that since KCIC was a company that has 60% of Indonesia and 40% of China, it's like they are willing to form their work together and make improvements and for the development of rural areas and of the country areas.
OK，当然我们在这个过程当中也发现，如果说我们想要做得更好，那么必须要进一步优化人文环境，我们中国和印尼双方形成合力，推动发展。
And while acknowledging the positive developments, there is still a recognizable need for further optimism of the cultural environment. That is to say, we need cooperative efforts between China and Indonesia. And in that case, we can drive the development and try to create a scenery that allows both nations to breathe the same air and share a common destiny.
最后一部分呢，说一说我们就是学生的一些收获感想。先说就是印尼同学的，印尼同学，我觉得，就是 James 同学，举一下手，在吗？James 同学对，他呢是觉得就是在这个调研过程当中，他可能是对这个就是我们印尼的2045年计划充满了信心。我在跟他在这个交流的过程当中，我也能感受到他，印尼学生特别，对国家充满了热情，希望能够，将来有机会报答祖国这样一种心情吧。那么就是总体觉得他们特别的有收获，特别的有激情啊。
So the last part is about our students' feelings about the trip to Indonesia. And first, let's talk about the Indonesian students. Let James put his hands up, and he think that the Golden Indonesia 2045 is very concrete, and he have uh, the determination for to devote himself to the effort of making his hometown and his country a better place, and that's very recognizable.
OK，最后呢是两个中国同学的感想，他们就是，在拜访印尼银行的时候就了解到了印尼树立数字货币的信心，在华为、在中国电信和亚湾高铁呢，又看到了企业和印尼政府的默契合作，以及印尼在制作2015年经济计划的决心。同时呢，大家也会感受到就是这个中国和印尼之间友谊的这个重要性。另外有一位同学呢，他是觉得，他能够对印尼有了一次立体的认知，看到了朴实热情的印尼当地人民，又看到了印尼企业的未来规划。也有中国企业进入印尼，融入印尼，在印尼发光发热，觉得非常的开心。
The other part is about the feelings of our Chinese students, and one of our friends, that our team leader, has said that she had during the visit to Bank Indonesia, she gained insight into Indonesia's growing confidence in establishing digital currencies, and at Huawei, China Telecom, and the Jakarta Bandung High-Speed Railway Company, she witnessed the seamless cooperation between business and the Indonesian government, along with Indonesia's determination and the 2045 economy plan. Throughout this process, she increasingly felt the significance of building strong friendship and deep cooperation between China and Indonesia. And one of our other teammates have said that the trip to Indonesia gave him a three-dimensional understanding. And she has seen the kindness and warmth of the local people in Indonesia and witnessed the future plans of Indonesia business and observed Chinese enterprises entering Indonesia, integrating into the local content, shining brightly, and contributing to the narrative of China's success in Indonesia.
OK，以上呢大概就是我想跟各位分享的内容。其实都是关于一些我们在培养人才方面的一个环节，当然还有很多我们就是也想知道各位就是老师在印尼都是怎么做的，以后有机会我们再希望各种场合有机会可以进行交流。以上是我的分享，谢谢各位。Thank you。
The above is the things that I want to share with you, and it's mainly focused on the process of our cultivation of talent. And we would like to know about how you, university in Indonesia, your teachers and your professors cultivate your talent. And we would like to make some discussions on this topic. And in the end, thank you very much for the listening and for the attendance, and thank you very much.
Thank you for the warm remark. After all the remarks has been delivered, we would like to invite Associate Professor Ator Subroto to come to the stage, and Associate Professor Chaurong to come to the stage for the token of appreciations giving from School of Strategic and Global Studies to the guests, the honorable guests, please. To the center, please. Di panggung, Pak. Ya, di panggung aja boleh, Pak. So we'll give it from our side first. Okay. Just to the left side. Dibukain dulu kali, Pak. Oh, dibuka nggak? Please give a big applause for the token of appreciation giving. We thank you for the token of appreciation exchange from both sides. Now we will enter our main agenda today, which is actually the presentation session. First, we'll open this presentation session from our lecturer, which will be delivered by Dr. Heni Saptatia about the theme Belt and Road Initiative, the role of Chinese enterprises in green and digital economy, as well as its relation with ASEAN. So the place, the stage and times are yours, Bu Heni.
Oh, dari podium. Oke. Oh, foto-foto aja. Di mana? Di depan podium. Bahasa Indonesia ya? Bahasa Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Do you prefer I speak in English or in bahasa Indonesia? Because Ani text me.
Both.
Yesterday Ani text me to speak in bahasa Indonesia. Then it can be translated into Chinese. Very good. So there is no English language here. Okay. Siapa bahasa? Tapi mereka bisa bahasa Indonesia. Mereka harus bisa bahasa. Oh. Namanya siapa?
Foundation.
Veldesen. Ya. Oke, 15 menit. Hari ini saya ingin membawakan presentasi yang akan mendorong kita untuk bekerja sama lebih erat dalam framework Belt and Road Initiative.
所以呢，他今天会讲的是关于在“一带一路”框架下合作模式的一个交流。
Oke. Judul presentasinya adalah Boosting Universities Cooperation Within the Framework of Belt and Road Initiative.
所以他今天要讲的是，他的题目是促进大学之间的合作，就是以“一带一路”基础上的思考和想法。
Belt and Road Initiative itu sebenarnya adalah extend dari jalur sutra yang sudah lama sekali, yang kemudian pernah berganti namanya menjadi One Belt, One Road.
其实我们所属着的一带一路，这个倡议是来自中国的丝绸之路。
Dalam framework Belt and Road Initiative itu ada 2 jalur. Saya memperkenalkan ini tentu bukan kepada mahasiswa-mahasiswa yang pintar-pintar dari Tsinghua, tetapi juga kepada mahasiswa Indonesia dari berbagai universitas yang ada di sini sekarang.
所以呢，其实这个就丝绸之路是分为2个，一个是海上，一个是陆地的。他说呢，介绍这个其实不是为了给中国学生就是讲，就是他是希望可以给印尼学生或者来自其他学校的学生讲。
Penting untuk mengetahui gambar besar bagaimana progres yang terjadi di dalam Belt and Road Initiative. Jadi terdapat 2 jalur utama, yaitu jalur utara yang melibatkan 14 kota yang penting sekarang ya progresnya, dan jalur selatan yang juga melibatkan 14 kota penting di dalam progres sampai saat ini.
所以呢，这个丝绸之路是有分有两个线，就是刚才我说的，一个是陆地的，一个是海上的。那其实上面的或者下面的都是有14个那个城市。
Kota penting ini tidak harus ibu kota, tetapi memang ada yang sebuah kota di sebuah negara atau di Cina misalnya di jalur utara itu ada 5 kota yang penting ya. Beijing, Xi'an, Lanzhou, kemudian Urumqi dan Huergut. Betul?
其实呢，就是这个经过的城市，它不是首都，它是有可能也是一个小的都市。那经过中国呢，他说从北京，然后北京，然后到乌鲁木齐是中国最后面，然后慢慢到延展到其他国家。
Kemudian ada kota-kota di negara-negara Asia Tengah yang berdekatan atau bertetanggaan dengan China ya, yaitu Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan 跟 Uzbekistan。
然后呢，在中东呢有开尔斯坦，有乌尔齐斯坦，那个是就是以前苏联那个地区的那个国家那一块。
Ada Iran kemudian di Asia Barat Daya, kemudian ada negara-negara yang kita golongkan sebagai negara-negara di Eropa, yaitu Turki, Rusia, Jerman dan Belanda。
然后从伊朗呢慢慢到土耳其，然后到欧洲大陆，就是荷兰啊、德国啊那些国家。
Kemudian di jalur selatan itu ada 14 juga kota, yaitu Venesia, kita tahu Venesia ada di Italia dan Athens ada di Yunani。
然后呢到最后是有意大利，就是威尼斯啊那些还有反正意大利国家的那些靠海的地区。
Ada Nairobi di Kenya, itu sebabnya tadi kita mendengar ada programnya Tsinghua University di Kenya ya. Karena Nairobi termasuk juga kota yang progresnya besar untuk Belt and Road Initiative。
然后是有一个非洲的一个国家肯亚，刚才老师也提到，就是我们清华大学有过去那边那个可能因为中国就是一带一路的一个战略的一部分。
Di Asia Selatan ada India dan Sri Lanka, dan kemudian di Asia Tenggara ada Malaysia, Indonesia dan Vietnam。
然后呢，包括印度啊，然后印尼啊、越南啊那些就是整个东南亚的一些国家。
Cina sendiri di jalur selatan itu progres yang terlihat besar untuk Belt and Road Initiative progres itu ada di 6 kota ya. Ada Beihai, kemudian Zhangjiang, Fuzhou, Guangzhou, Haikou dan apa? Guangzhou 呀。
所以呢，它在中国呢，其实就是在海上丝绸之路，它有比较重要的城市，一个是福州、广州、北海、湛江，还有泉州，到最后是一个海口。
Oke, jadi betapa banyaknya kota-kota yang sebenarnya bisa berhimpun dengan Universitas Indonesia dan Tsinghua University untuk meneliti banyak hal tentang kemajuan Belt and Road Initiative。
所以呢，其实在这个基础上，我们可以看到很多大学是可以跟中国或者跟印尼大学一起合作来探讨这个“一带一路”的合作模式。
Saya kebetulan diminta oleh SKSG, Direktur SKSG untuk memimpin program studi kajian wilayah Eropa. Sehingga dengan optimis saya bisa mengatakan bahwa Universitas Indonesia mempunyai network yang sangat bagus dengan universitas-universitas di Turki, Rusia, Jerman, Belanda, Nederland 呀 Italy dan Yunani。
其实呢，他作为一个本院系欧洲大陆的负责人呢，就是印尼大学有跟欧洲方面的一些大学有很好的合作关系，比如说土耳其、意大利、德国等一些欧洲国家，然后他觉得在这个基础上可以拓展。
Tadi ada pertanyaan, bagaimana kita mengembangkan talent mahasiswa di Universitas Indonesia atau di Sekolah Kajian Strategik dan Global. Di Sekolah Kajian Strategik dan Global, kami mempunyai 16 cluster riset.
刚才呢，有人问，就是印尼大学或者本院系他们是怎么推广他们的这个国际化能力？然后呢，他说他们这里呢是有16个研究项目。
Mahasiswa dan dosen bekerja bersama-sama di luar program studi mereka dan di luar mata kuliah mereka bekerja bersama di dalam kerangka cluster riset.
除了课堂上的内容呢，其实印尼大学的教授和学生他们也会在就是做一个就是课堂以外的研究可能学生和老师会主动就是一起做一个研究课题。
Oke, nah saya dapat PR dari dapat PR dari Ani untuk mengerjakan presentasi yang berkaitan dengan green economy dan digital economy.
所以呢，那个安妮同学就她可能就跟老师联系了，然后就她说这里有个作业，她要完成了。
Saya memimpin cluster riset yang namanya multilateralisme dan migrasi. Multilateralisme artinya kerjasama yang melibatkan banyak negara, dan migrasi artinya kerjasama atau pergerakan ya orang atau barang atau jasa atau modal atau ilmu pengetahuan atau apa saja.
所以呢，就是他介绍一下他自己的研究方向。那他的研究方向主要是有2个方面，第一个是刚才是好像第2个我记得是人流就是人流，就每个国家的这个人流。第一个yang tadi yang pertama fokusnya di mana？ 就是国际化的多元化合作模式。第一个是国家与国家之间的多元化合作模式。第二呢是人流。kerjasama multinasional kan?
Oke, nah nanti setelah saya itu akan ada 2 case yang akan dipresentasikan. Yang pertama itu adalah the absence and the presence sebenarnya of the Chinese enterprises in playing its role in green economy in Indonesia. Itu nanti akan disampaikan oleh Mas Agung.
OK， 一会儿呢，他也会介绍整个中国，就是在印尼的中国企业，然后呢，到时候会有一个人来讲。
Yang kedua nanti ada 1 kasus juga yang akan disampaikan oleh Mas Yoga, itu tentang the growing digital economy in BRI networks countries ya, dan judulnya The Importance of Supporting the Growing of Chinese Enterprises Roles in the Sector of Digital Economy in Indonesia.
就是第2个也是我们就是之前想要了解的方面，就是数字经济然后这数字经济是如何在东南亚发展，然后主要是在印尼的就是中国企业。
Green economy adalah isu yang sangat penting ya saat ini, dan sebenarnya di dalam framework Belt and Road Initiative kita bisa melibatkan 14 universitas dari 14 kota penting yang ada di jalur utara dan yang ada di jalur selatan. Bayangkan kalau kita menghimpun sebuah inisiatif-inisiatif tentang green economy dari universitas-universitas di 14 kota penting itu di utara dan 14 di selatan, itu artinya berapa? 28 kota penting ya. Itu akan menjadi sebuah capaian atau temuan yang sangat baik dan sangat berguna, bukan hanya untuk China sebagai inisiator Belt and Road Initiative, tetapi juga untuk masyarakat dan masyarakat ilmiah di 28 di universitas-universitas di 28 kota tersebut.
所以呢，其实我们现在提出的一个绿色经济的话题是特别火爆的一个话题，而且他觉得就是一带一路国家在刚才在陆地的或者在海上的是一共有28国家，他觉得呢，如果我们发起整个比如说大学呢，在这个28个地区呢，我们一起来研究这个课题，是特别有意思的一个就东西吧，真的。
Saya harus terus terang bahwa meskipun framework Belt and Road Initiative itu sudah lama sekali dimulainya, tetapi di Indonesia tentu saja hanya kalangan elit saja yang tahu itu, gitu. Karena apa? Karena program-programnya itu tidak mengakar di universitas atau di masyarakat lokal.
刚才我忘记一个翻译了，就是其实这个“一带一路”项目，它不只是对中国的一个影响力吧，它其实会影响整个社会，就是学生啊或者大学。那在这个基础上呢，他刚才有提出一个方面，就是目前呢这个“一带一路”战略在印尼呢，就知道的人只是在高层的人，比如说政府啊、教授啊那些人士，但是在印尼的下面的那些人群是不知道的，所以呢，他觉得就提出这个概念在当地人或者更底层的人是很有用的一个方面。
Kalau ingin jujur, kita harus mengatakan bahwa proyek-proyek yang ada di dalam konteks Belt and Road Initiative itu biasanya melibatkan investasi yang sangat besar. Tetapi masyarakat tidak tahu bahwa ada proyek-proyek prioritas yang itu sebenarnya bisa juga memberikan keuntungan bagi masyarakat umum.
其实呢，“一带一路”的项目，比如说中印尼，他们投资是特别大的，就是很多人只是知道这个投资了就很多钱，但是呢，他们当地人或者普通的群众并不知道这个项目是对他们的生活可以带动很大的影响。
Dalam hal ini, saya kira bekerja dalam network universities akan banyak manfaatnya ya. Jadi misalnya untuk isu absent and present of Chinese enterprises in playing its roles in green economy in Indonesia, itu kita bisa bukan hanya di Indonesia ya, tapi misalnya di Nairobi atau di Kenya atau di Malaysia, di tempat lain, kita kira-kira bisa mengeksplorasi pertanyaan-pertanyaan sebagai berikut.
其实呢，这个话题未来可能它可以展开更多的国家，比如说非洲国家，就奈罗毕那些地区，就是可能这个合作的这个交流机会会很大。
Misalnya kalau itu green economy di Indonesia ya. Jadi kita bisa tahu tuh, pertama siapa saja kompetitor China di dalam sektor green economy di Indonesia.
首先，我们可以探讨第一的问题，就是在绿色经济，谁是中国企业的竞争对手？
Kedua misalnya sektor green economy apa saja atau mana saja yang Chinese enterprises itu sebenarnya punya potensi dan bisa secara aktif terlibat di dalamnya.
第二的呢是哪一种或者哪一家中国企业可以在绿色方面有突出的就是方面，然后呢可以就是比较就是进入行业就进入市场的时候可以更有利。
Kemudian universitas dari 28 kota yang penting itu, mereka bisa saja bekerja sama di dalam penelitian bersama atau publikasi bersama untuk mendorong terlibatnya atau lebih aktifnya supaya sebenarnya bukan hanya Chinese enterprises, tapi siapa saja ya. Jadi ada pemerintah, pemerintah lokal atau pemerintah daerah, kemudian pihak-pihak lain seperti NGO atau perbankan itu bisa ikut terlibat dalam sektor green economy.
在整个绿色经济其实可以参与的不只是这个28个国家的大学生，而且有可能是当地政府啊、银行啊或者等行业。
Kasus kedua nanti akan disampaikan oleh Mas Yoga, itu akan terlihat ya, itu tentang digital economy ya, bagaimana Chinese enterprises itu mempunyai peran di dalam digital economy di Indonesia.
好嘞，刚才的第一话题已经结束了，然后我们现在是进入第二话题的主要内容是到时候那个还有一个老师他会讲就是中国企业如何在印尼的绿色经济做出贡献。
Jadi akan ada gambaran tentang perkembangan terakhir situasi dan kondisi digital ekonomi di Indonesia, kemudian siapa saja pemain atau aktor yang penting di dalam digital ekonomi Indonesia itu, apa komoditinya ya, bergerak di bidang apa.
所以呢，他到时候会讲的是关于印尼近期的绿色经济的或者数字经济的情况，然后呢包括谁参与了这个工作当中。
Kita juga bisa mengidentifikasi siapa saja partner atau mitra atau investor dari luar negeri yang bergerak di sektor digital ekonomi di Indonesia.
所以呢，我们到时候也可以了解一下，就是在整个数字经济化的时代，在印尼的情况下，就是谁是参与的。
Kita akan melihat potensi misalnya apakah Chinese enterprises bisa lebih optimal memainkan perannya di dalam digital economy.
我们将看中国企业在未来能否做得更好。
Dengan demikian universitas bisa berperan aktif untuk mendorong ya dan membuat senario atau prediksi tentang bagaimana di dalam konteks Belt and Road Initiative ini digital ekonomi bisa lebih berkembang di Indonesia.
那作为大学之间呢，我们可以推动的是，我们可以提出一个模式，可能在这个“一带一路”的基础上呢，这些比如说绿色经济或者数字经济啊，就是怎么样可以更好的推动起来。
Ada satu hal lagi yang sebenarnya dititipkan oleh Ani untuk kita eksplorasi. Tapi saya menawarkan supaya kita bisa nanti bekerja sama soal ini, itu adalah the role of Chinese relation with ASEAN. Karena di ruangan ini ada dua ahli Cina, hubungan Cina dan ASEAN, yaitu Profesor Wang dan Dr. Hampre. Jadi kalau kita nanti bekerja bersama, di dalam konteks the role of Chinese relation with ASEAN, kita akan bisa menggunakan banyak sekali isu untuk mengembangkan penelitian-penelitian di situ.
同时呢，他也邀请，好像你提出了一个课题，就是中国的合作是吧？就中国的什么？对啊， 然后呢，他这里呢邀请了专家，一个是来自中国的，一个是来自印尼的，是吧？对。
Ya. Nah, saya ingin memberikan ilustrasi dari tadi bicara-bicara jadi mau lihat gambar. Slide-nya cuma 2. Saya ingin memberikan ilustrasi apa yang sudah kami kerjakan dengan Universitas Negeri Agriculture di Moskow. Nah, Moskow itu adalah juga salah satu kota yang menjadi jalur yang dilewati oleh Northern Road.
1 menit lagi, Bu.
他会介绍就是在莫斯科，就他们合作的是关于agriculture，就是农业方面的一些东西。
Oke, silahkan. Nah, ini adalah Profesor Ivan Vasenev dari Moscow Agriculture University. Jadi beliau memberikan pemikiran-pemikiran di dalam agriculture dan kami bawa beliau untuk bertemu dengan universitas-universitas lain di Jawa Timur, yaitu di Universitas UPN. UPN apa namanya? Ya, Darul Ulum di Jombang dan Universitas UPN di Surabaya. Silahkan diputar pelan-pelan.
所以呢，他也是跟一个莫斯科农业大学，就是国外的大学，可能是俄罗斯，这个具体位置我不知道啊。然后呢，他提出的一些想法呢，就是他提出了对印尼的农业的一些想法，所以呢，印尼大学呢跟当地的周围就其他省的一些城市合作，就是带他看，然后跟他们一起进行交流，这个是农业方面的。
Di dalam program ini, mahasiswa bekerja sama dengan dosen dan bekerja sama dengan mahasiswa dan dosen dari universitas lain. Demikian presentasi saya, semoga bermanfaat. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
在这种合作下呢，就是大学就是当地的大学生就是可以跟教授交流啊等什么，所以最后就谢谢大家。
Great thanks to Dr. Henny and also Valdez for the translation. Very nice. We could hear all of the translation, I think, precisely spoken to the audience, and hopefully it could generate our interest to learn Mandarin or Chinese. So I would like to give another chance, the next chance actually, to Professor Wang to maybe have some thought and also discussion about this theme. Yes, please. From here or from there is fine. Okay, Professor. The time is yours. 15 minutes.
Terima kasih kepada ceramah Ibu. Selamat pagi. 早上好，上午好。Good morning. My name is Wang Yonghui, Dali China, Central China Normal University. How to say? Indeed, I will not give a formal presentation about this topic. I just want to introduce some basic situation or information about this topic. And of course, I'm very happy to see all of you, particularly from Tsinghua University, top university, all students and teachers to visit Indonesia. Maybe you are the first time to visit Indonesia, also Jakarta. And I hope you can learn something. You can learn, particularly you can enjoy your life in Jakarta. And maybe for you, you just stay here for a short time. Belt Road initiative, that I'm not sure. Can you know how much you understand this initiative? Many people, particularly in Western media, maybe make some negative propaganda about Belt Road initiative. But nowadays in Indonesia, more and more people accept Belt and Road Initiative as a positive way. It means more and more Indonesian people acknowledged Belt and Road, just like what Chinese government initiated as co-building, co-sharing, and win-win cooperation, not just some kind of dead threat for other countries. It's just co-building, co-sharing, and win-win cooperation. I think now more and more Indonesian people, particularly some professors and some elites in society, acknowledging that this is very important, is a good sign for both countries, China, Indonesia, to strengthen cooperation. And this is the first point I want to explain to you. There's some misunderstanding in different countries about Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, but yeah, it's important for we to know the truth. Then Chinese investment, the situation of Chinese investment. Now China is the second largest foreign investor in Indonesia. Just came from mainland China, not including. I don't think is including investment from Hong Kong or Singapore. For nowadays, Singapore last year, 2023, Singapore is the largest foreign investor in Indonesia. But Singapore, there's some investment from China. For my personal idea, maybe China is the in truth. In fact, maybe China is the largest foreign investor in Indonesia. This is the importance for two countries to strengthen, to promote bilateral cooperation. Is very important for both parties. Then for trade partner, China is the already become the 10th consecutive year as the biggest trade partner of Indonesia. The 10th year as Indonesia's biggest trade partner. This is the importance for two countries. And for this basic data, I mean the number, you can see more and more Chinese enterprises coming to Indonesia for just like Tekamba Ador mentioned, Ding Ador mentioned, Whoosh now become a sign, a symbol for China-Indonesian high technology cooperation. Is a good thing for both countries. But people may question Whoosh high-speed rail if can become some kind of green technology. I think it can be, for it solved many things, many issues, for saves people's time for walking and solve the problem of traffic jam. You know, in Jakarta, sangat macet, very crowded, and everywhere is, particularly in the city center, very full of traffic jam. And this is a symbol for two countries' high technology cooperation. You know, Indonesia is the second country who has the high-speed rail with 350 kilometers per hour. China, the two countries can achieve this kind of technology for high-speed rail in the world. I think not just the pride of Indonesian people, it should be the pride of all Asians people. This is the win-win cooperation. This is the achievement from Belt and Road Initiative. We should realize this. Without Jokowi, President Jokowi push forward the co-building, co-sharing, and win-win cooperation for Belt and Road Initiative, I don't think Indonesia and China can achieve so much achievements in bilateral cooperation like WUSH, high-speed rail in Jakarta, Bandung. Then this is the symbol for, for bilateral cooperation. Maybe can be used as example for green economic cooperation between two countries. And also, according to the definition of green economy or digital economy, I can show some more example to you. For example, solar power station. Some years before, in Indonesia, there's no any solar power station. Most power station came from coal. Generated by coal, just coal power station. But now China already invested the largest solar power station in West Jakarta. This is the green economy. This is also the achievement by Belt and Road Initiative. And also for this kind of project, then West Jakarta can offer more opportunity for local people, and particularly can reduce much pollution from the traditional coal power station. Then I think make the environment better and the people can live much healthier. This is also very important for Belt and Road Initiative. And then another very important case, I think all people in Indonesia, particularly in Jakarta, can maybe can know or can meet Gotopedia, the largest online shopping. Gotopedia, the largest share of Gotopedia is TikTok, a Chinese firm. Okay, sorry. Then you can see is also some kinds of Chinese investment in digital economy in Indonesia, particularly in Jakarta. I can give you some example. 5 years ago, when I arrived visited Jakarta, very few people can pay by smartphone. Now, but it's very popular in Jakarta. Or I think particularly young people will not use cash to do some shopping, but by smartphone. Then is the very good example for the good development of digital economy. Okay, limited by time, I will stop here. I would like to answer. If you have time, we can discuss. I would like to answer your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Wang, for your great explanation. Since we have actually having two speakers already explain us about the Belt and Road Initiative, which actually developing time by time in ASEAN, and the sphere of influence is growing wider and wider by the day. So I think we have enough for the presentation from our lecturers. Or maybe I would like to ask Professor Chaurong, would you mind to have commentaries maybe about the relation between ASEAN and also Indonesia? China and also ASEAN. Do you want to have some commentary? Yes, maybe very short. I think we could break a little while since our lunch is actually ready for now, and we will break this first session until 1 p.m. So our staff is providing the lunch for you. This is actually special Indonesian cuisine from Western Sumatra. So for those who actually first time coming to Indonesia, you must be aware with the chili things. So we will break the first session until 1 p.m. And we will continue after that the student panel sessions and student presentation. So enjoy your lunchtime. It's 1 p.m. already. Now we will start the second session that we already have been waiting for. This is the student presentation session that we actually specially arranged for the students from the Tsinghua, and we also have our proud students from the not only from the European studies as well as the American studies and also Middle East and Islamic studies. And without further ado, I think we can have the first presenter. Wait for a while. I will read the arrangement that we have made for the presentation, and we are also having our distinguished lecturer, Dr. Henny, as the discussion or the commentator of the students' presentation. So the first will be Agung Prakoso. His presentation title is The Absence of Chinese Enterprises in Playing its Role in Green Economy in Indonesia. And you can prepare your presentation in the stage. And the second one will be Clement and Xiaoxi. Am I pronouncing it right? From the Tsinghua University. I hope you can also present orally or with the presentation file. The third one will be Yoga Hediasa, one of the member of Multilateralism and Migration Research Cluster. Both actually the members or the researcher of the Multilateralism and Migration Research Center, with the title The Importance of Supporting the Growing of Chinese Enterprises Roles in the Sector of Digital Economy in Indonesia. And the last would be Chu Yu and Yang. I'm sorry if I mistakenly pronounce it. Please be advised. And that will be the last presenter, and we will be having question and answer after the session. So before we start, we are having some a little rules maybe. We will, each presenter or each group will be having like 10 minutes to present their ideas, their thoughts, their presentations. And there is also a remote that you can use for controlling the presentation that you have. And there is also a screen to make it easier for you to see. So don't worry, and if something happens or you would like to liaise about your presentation, changing it or do some arrangement, you can contact the operator behind the black mirror, behind the black glass. So okay, without further ado, this is very fascinating. Let's give applause to Pak Agung for the first presenter. The time and stage are yours.
Check. Ni hao. Wacha Agung. I just know about that. So.
I
will do my presentation in Bahasa Indonesia. Terima kasih atas kesempatannya. Is there any interpreter?
Let me give you the translation then for you.
Oh, in English.
In English. Yes.
Oh no.
Tapi pelan-pelan ya Mas ya.
I will speak in English.
Oh, okay, great. Please speak in English, will be better.
Thank you very much for the opportunity for me to explain about the role of Chinese enterprises in green economy in Indonesia. My name is Agung Prakoso. I'm from European Studies, School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia. So this presentation have the title is the role of Chinese enterprises in green economy. First of all, I want to explain to you what is the green economy in Indonesia. So, how the condition about the green economy in Indonesia. First of all, Indonesia have agreed with the Paris Agreement. So, compatible with the Paris Agreement, Indonesia must achieve the energy sectors for net zero emission after 2060, while the electricity sector will reach the zero in 2050. But this problem, this Paris Agreement, need a lot of funding. We will need 1.3 trillion US dollar will be needed as the cumulative investment for especially for the access to the technologies in the push of decarbonization in Indonesia. So my presentation will focus on this agenda to reach the net zero emission on 2060. So if you see in here, you can see there is a investment value in green eco sector in Indonesia. You can see this is the five countries with the most investment value in the green sector in Indonesia. The first country in invest as the investor of the green economy sector is Singapore. And then we have South Korea. The third is Netherlands. The fourth is Japan. And the fifth is China. So China is the big five of the investment. But even this value is increased year by year, especially, but China become the, as the big country, become the lowest one between the Singapore and South Korea also. So I would like to explore more on this item. Because from the 35 billion US dollar Chinese investment in Indonesia, it's cumulative from 2006 until 2022. A quarter of this 35 billion investment is channeled to energy sector. But only 86% of this investment, this quarter investment, is for the fossil fuels energy. So this is the main problem while we need to explore more or reboost the green economy in Indonesia. So what we can do around these issues. So this is the potential sector for Chinese enterprises investment in Indonesia. The first is energy transition in fossil energy sector. Indonesia has signed the Global Methane Pledge along with countries during the COP26 in Glasgow, which could see a collective effort to curb methane emission by at least 30% from the 2022 level by 2030. But in Indonesia especially, there is only 3 of 2 the biggest coal producer have already came up with energy targets. So we need more investment on these issues, on the energy transition and fossil energy sectors, because they are in the five largest energy sector, fossil energy sector. Only 2 companies have pledged their achievement target 2030 and 2050, and both of them are Indonesians, not from the investment from the foreign. And then the second one is energy transition in power sector. Mostly Indonesia use the coal-fired power energy sector. So the coal-fired generation still accounts for about 60% for the power generation share. So in Indonesia, we have planned projection from 2021 until 2030 projection to have less than 40% of total emission of the energy sector. So we need to reach this number. Then we need more investment on this sector. The third one is energy sector in transportation sector. Energy transition in transportation sector. the transportation sector contribute the quarter of uh, Indonesia energy sector's emissions. So it's 20% of emission. As the top three contributor of the energy of the emission, we need to reboost the transition on transportation sector. So both of these three of kind of sector should be involved with the investment from the foreign or from the inside the countries also. But we need to have more investment, more financing on this sector. I would like to uh, explore more. Last year on UNGA, Xi Jinping said that China will reduce the investment on green economy, especially in the uh, developing countries. So, as we know, we already have the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative. So we need to maximize the Belt Road Initiative to reduce the and green economy in Indonesia. For example, must be sustainable and is maximizing to the huge investment to accelerate the green economy in Indonesia. Why the Belt Road Initiative is important? Because it could be reduce the supply chain. The BRI have the uh, 14 countries, as Bu Henny already tell to us, 14 countries, and it should be have a lot of more supply chains. So the supply chains could be reduced by the Belt Road Initiative. This is why we need to maximizing the BRI to push the green economy sectors or the investment on the green economy sectors in Indonesia. Why this is important? Because the competitor. Because I'm from the European studies, I will mention the EU. Why EU is important? EU is the competitor of the China investment in Indonesia. EU have the Green Deal. EU Green Deal. What the meaning of the EU Green Deal? This is the ambition of EU to become the leader in the green technology, and it will create a new dependence of the developing countries to the developed countries. The Green Deal is approach used by developed countries as a new requirement for developing countries to provide official development like development aid, development loans, provide debt, reschedule, and debt relief. So at this point, I would like to mention that environmental issues and also climate issues will become a new tool of domination and hegemonic or developed by developed countries over developing countries. That's why I mentioned Xi Jinping before, because Xi Jinping want to invest in the developing countries in Indonesia, like Indonesia. So we need to have a sort cooperation to against the agenda from the EU or also from the other countries. The second one I would like to
Sorry
mention
Mas,
is
3 menit lagi. 3 minutes left.
US IPEF. US IPEF have the pillar of the clean economy. It intends to accelerate efforts to pursue greenhouse emission, but it relies on market and technologies to do. So both of them, EU and US, in their agenda to green economy or to in green investment in developing countries is to push their technology as their main investment. But what we can do, we only got the technology which will be monopolized by them. So that's why we need the sort cooperation, especially Indonesia and China. How we can reach this one? The first is the bilateral. We need to strengthen high-level renewable energy partnership between China and Indonesia through development of joint long-term strategies and concluding some of bilateral agreements. Why? The one of it is we already mentioned in this discussion, the BRI. We need to push more on this, and also we need to the financing, innovative mechanism and financing structure. The G20 already discussed about the Just Energy Transition Partnership, but 98% of the Just Energy Transition Partnership in G20 is loan. So we need to have a financial innovative mechanism as the South-South cooperative. And we need to have works together from the academics and also civil society engagement. Civil society can work together and collaborative with the government, both China and also Indonesia. And then the last one is ASEAN. We need to have deepening exchange and exploring further integration with ASEAN regional. Last, I already mentioned the just energy transition. Just energy transition is a way to reconcile poorest human material in the planet to maintain the stability of Earth's climate. So the challenge is for the just energy transition is employment, degradation, environment, and equity. This one I put the Wawonis Island, one of the nickels area production in Indonesia, and it's have a bad impact to environmental issues. So why we need to the just energy transition? Because the just energy transition will have a good governance on planning and energy transition. Why? Because it puts the public and social dialogue. As I mentioned before, academic and civil society should be involved in the cooperation between China and Indonesia. And then investment in new renewable energy should become the mainstreaming of the just energy transition. We need to push the social safety, transition and economic diversification and the financing mechanism. The financing mechanism should be involved between the South-South cooperation between China and Indonesia, between Indonesia and Malaysia. So we don't have any monopolized by the developed countries. So I think that's all from me. If you have some question, I will let you on the next discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please give applause to Mas Agung. Thank you so much for the presentation. So let me give you a little bit results of the presentation. Just now, Mas Agung have mentioned about the self-to-self corporations and a lot of notes that actually should be taken to consider the Belt and Road Initiative implementation in Southeast Asia, especially for the impact in Indonesia as well. And it is one of our main agenda, especially for the Indonesian government, to strengthen the projects, the BRI, but it also have to be adapt with the plan from another partner, especially European Union, because the Green Deal is somehow also interesting, and we need to adapt with our close neighbor, especially from the China, because since 2013, Indonesian government has agreed to open a brand new cooperation with the Chinese government. And that's the short result from me. And we will move to, thank you for Mas Agung Prakoso, which is actually one of member of the Multilateralism and Migration Research Center or Cluster Research, which actually under Bu Heni as well. And we will move to the second presentation, which will be presented by the Clement and also Xiao Xi. Are you ready, guys? Yes, the stage and time are yours. Give an applause. You have 10 minutes. But you can start, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, namo buddhaya, om swastiastu. Yang terhormat dosen School of Strategic and Global Studies UI, Buk Dr. Heni Saptatya, and good afternoon to every student in this room. Okay. So today I'm going to bring a presentation regarding my insights on China's digital economy as an international student in Tsinghua University. My name is Clement. I'm an undergraduate sophomore undergraduate student in the Department of Electrical Engineering and Automation in Singapore. So there are two topics that I'm going to bring today. The first one is regarding the integration of social messaging app like WeChat and also like WhatsApp with digital payment system, namely Alipay and WeChat Pay. The second is on the integration of digital logistics and automation in China, which I'm taking the case of China. So moving to the first part, China is really known for their integrated super app with digital payment system like Alipay and WeChat Pay. WeChat is a social messaging app by Tencent, one of the biggest company operating in technological and digital products, and for both for corporations and personal consumers in China currently. WeChat Pay is a mobile payment solution jointly launched by Weixin and Tenpay in 2013. WeChat and WeChat Pay services are available in more than 60 markets and support transactions in 17 countries globally. It is integrated inside WeChat and has multiple functionalities such as quick pay, QR code payment, in-app web-based payment, in-app payment, mini programs payment, to different varieties of payment situations for both for personal consumers and industrial consumers. As you can see, it touches everyday needs of Chinese society for payment. Like, there is telecom payments, there are utilities payments, and then you can also buy things like insurance and stuff like that inside WeChat Pay. Moving on to Alipay. So Alipay is also digital payment solutions that is operated by Alibaba, specifically by Ant Group, which is the subsidiaries that are responsible for Alibaba's fintech services. It has provided service for over 80 million companies and 1 billion personal customers worldwide. It is also a super app, which has a lot of functionalities, including ride-hailing services, purchasing insurances, medical appointments, and etc. These are realized through the mini programs that are easily to be made and installed within Alipay itself, which allows users to manage other things besides payments. So here are all those mini programs that you can see. Like you can order a taxi, you can buy a medical insurance, you can also create medical appointments with doctors, and also like check your medical conditions, especially in pandemic situations. Moving on to the next part is what I think the advantages of Alipay and WeChat Pay as a personal customer compared to the digital payment that we have here in Indonesia, like QRIS. So the first one is that it is an app that could fulfill customers' all needs. Both Alipay and WeChat Pay has varieties of functionalities that fulfills necessities of people's daily lives, not just digital payment solutions. So it's a super app. The second is a collaborative functionality with social messaging app. So for example, I'm taking WeChat Pay, where people could create a split bill payment method to divide payments within a social messaging group. So just imagine that you have a bill that you want to split within a WhatsApp group, that you can just use one of the functionalities within that WhatsApp applications and then split the bill with everyone inside the group that you want. So that's one of the examples of the collaborative functionality of WeChat Pay. And the third one is that it is fast and easy. So everything is available within the reach of one application, which enhances time effectivity and efficiency of consumers. Moving on to the next part, we're talking about government regulation concerning digital payment solutions in China. So as digital payment has taken a significant part in the economy, since 30 June 2018, the People's Bank of China, which is the bank in Indonesia of China, has set regulations regarding the inspection and control of digital payment systems in China, which requires every digital transactions to go under the online settlement platform for non-bank payment situations that are regulated by PBOC themselves. This allows every transactions in Alipay and WeChat Pay and the related informations like sender, address, transaction amount, the exact time that the transaction happens to be recorded in a centralized system, and accounts are registered based on national identity number. and transactions could only be done if that is permitted by PPOC. This allows the government to detect illicit payments like online gambling, money laundering, financial fraud, and other kind of criminal activities that could be directly addressed by law and assure security within the digital payment solutions. And to the next part, we are going to talk about the integration of digital logistics and automation in China, which I'm going to take the examples of China. So the two biggest e-commerce platforms in China are Taobao and by Alibaba, and Jingdong, or you know by the name of JD. Both involves automation like AI and cutting-edge technology in their supply chain solutions. For Alibaba, namely Taobao, they use the services of Cainiao, which is a standardized supply chain solution provided by the wing of Alibaba. So it provides B2C warehousing and distribution services, and also for B2B, it also supports digital and green supply chain in itself. Their technological innovation, namely there are automation, which happens in warehouse and distribution automation. So every movement of products and logistics within the warehouses where they will distribute their product to the customers are done automatically with robots, sensoring, AI, and etc. The second is data strategy. The second is on digital supply chain, which happens on by the data strategy, middleware, and optimization platforms that are centralized and organized on a digital supply chain, like the structure on this one. The third one is about IoT. So Cainiao also uses smart hardwares and softwares that are connected in a centralized system using IoT, and also the automatic guided vehicles. So the robot here under this is called Salemba, using advanced AI and autonomous driving technologies. As of 2022, it had delivered over 10 million logistics orders and handled nearly 2 million package deliveries in a mere 11 days span. And the lastly is about digital express delivery, which all delivery processes are done through digital systems and are administered by the software itself. And also the databases are all computed and also stored within a database by cloud computing system. So
You have 3 minutes left.
the last part is campus applications. So for example, like Tsinghua University, they install multiple self-claim package distribution boxes like this one. So students will just need to input the deliver code sent through the messages that are input by package delivers to take the packages. The benefits is that it increases time efficiency in package distribution and also reduces workers and overhead cost for package distribution. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Clement. Such a nice presentation. Does Xiaoxi will also present her materials after this, or we can move to the third presenters, because if I'm not mistaken, you are going it in a group. Okay, please.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Li Xiaoxi, a student in the dual degree program in computer science and finance at Tsinghua University. Today, I'm honored to deliver this speech and talk about the role of Chinese enterprises in the rural digital economy. So this is a story about how 1 + 1 could be greater than 2. Last summer, I met Natasha Budiono, a student from the University of Indonesia who majors in economics. And this is me and Natasha. She told me that this university is an intelligent ivory tower, and Indonesia is a place full of beauty and magic. And that's the reason why I'm here today. Among many overseas visits from Tsinghua, I decisively signed up for the Indonesian visit organized by the Department of Foreign Language. In my conversations with Natasha, I learned that Indonesia's agriculture output accounts for 13%, of the total GDP, with 70% of the population residing in rural areas. While in China, the agricultural output constitutes 16% of the total GDP. As two agricultural powerhouses, I believe the story of China's rural digital finance might resonate with you. As I only have 3 minutes, I would like to talk about how the financial lending market particularly relies on information asymmetry and data. For any data, there is a story behind it. But the problem is, how can you obtain the data? Traditional rural finance faces challenges such as a large funding gap, difficult risk control, and disparate financial demands. This is where the digital economy comes into play. Combining with cloud computing and remote sensing technology, rural finance could achieve a higher goal than by its own. Take one of the Chinese enterprises, Wangshan Bank, as an example. As you can see, this is Wangshan Bank. Wangshan Bank has introduced the Great TIT technology. As the intensification of agriculture becomes increasingly evident, if we can observe the fields of large-scale farmers, we can assess risks reasonably. Leveraging the European Space Agency satellite system, the company independently established a satellite recognition model with two main functions: understanding operational situations for objective risk quantification, and identifying crop growth cycles for precise credit granting. This enables differentiated loan services based on different seasons and regions. The existing satellites can recognize up to 28 types of crops with an accuracy exceeding 93%, successfully addressing urgent needs for intensive farming. When remote sensing technology, cloud computing, and finance come together, rural financial needs are quickly met, achieving an effect greater than the sum of its own parts. So this relates to what I study at Tsinghua University in the dual degree program in computer science and finance. The combination of computer science and finance major is not just to help students locate a job, but to create a job. For the Chinese digital finance industry, it should be about creating a solution, not just about locating one. So that's the story of the Chinese enterprises in the reform of rural digital finance. A story where 1 + 1 could be actually greater than 2. Thank you.
That's a quick presentation. I was not expecting that Chelsea is finishing so fast. Okay, let me give you a little bit resume that I have maybe understood from, or Annie would like to have give little resume from those two presentations.
Yes, one of our teammates, Yishou, has done some work on cryptocurrency, but unfortunately, she's a bit unwell today, so she didn't come to us.
Oh, so unfortunate. I would like to hear maybe from her lately.
Yeah, I will
some other
send the
time.
PPT as well. She has
Sure.
already made
So we'll share it to or circulate it to our students, so let them know about the ideas from her. Okay, I think since we are also tight in time, we'll move to the next presenter, which is from Mas Yoga. Mas Yoga, are you ready? Yes. So Mas Yoga, Yoga Hediasa, it is his full name. He is also the student of European Studies, European Studies, and also the member of the research cluster of multilateralism and also migrations, which is under Dr. Hedi Saptatia. The title of presentation is The Importance of Supporting the Growing of Chinese Enterprises' Roles in the Sector of Digital Economy in Indonesia. If you're ready, you have 10 minutes to present your ideas. The stage and times are yours.
Okay, good afternoon. So I would like to thank the SSGS and also especially Mrs. Hani that give me a chance to share any ideas for our discussion today about the importance of supporting Chinese enterprises growth and role in Indonesia's digital economy. So, in an overview on Indonesia's digital economy, we can see that Indonesia's digital economic growth recorded a four-fold increase from 2017 to 2021, with a four-fold increase in commerce transactions from 2019 to 2022. So we can see that we have a good growth, and the digital economy's gross merchandise value, or GMV, increased from 41 billion US dollar in 2019 to 100 billion US dollar in 2022. And next, so behind that reality, we must know who is the actor. Okay, in Indonesia, nearly 8.4 million Indonesian micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, have digital platforms to market their products. So the majority of the actor in digital economics in Indonesia is the micro, small, and medium enterprises. Their role is so important. And the digital economy in Indonesia is dominated by digital trade services, or e-commerce, with imported goods and making up a significant portion of the market. So the digital process is the backbone of the commerce of our products today, especially in MSMEs. About the actors, okay, or about the relation with another country or another nation. While US technology and also European, maybe like Tesla, Google, and Amazon, or any other economic entities from West, have shown interest in investing in Indonesia's electrical vehicle industry, or like Mr. Agung have explained, China has agreed to help Indonesia build its digital economy with some project under the China's Belt and Road Initiative. As our Minister of Communication and Informatics said, said that both countries, Indonesia and China, have established various collaborations, and the opportunities are wide open. This latest cooperation aims to address challenges in the use of new technologies and the digital sectors. And he stressed that China is one of Indonesia's largest trading partner. In 2022, the value of Chinese investment in this archipelago reached 8.2 billion US dollar, while the trade value amounted to 133 billion US dollar. Wow. So, about Chinese enterprises support to our digital economy sector. We've known some big companies like Huawei and any other economic entities give us training and upskilling for our human resource, for our digital talents. And also China's e-commerce expertise has been tapped to help Indonesia build its digital economy. So we really thank to Chinese enterprises that share and break down the knowledges and skills about on digital and economic enhancement. So, where Chinese enterprises can be actively involved in future, especially, let me to the first is the food and beverage. Yes, as we see or as we know that there are some similarities between Indonesian dish and Chinese dish. So with the investment or the joint program of both countries, hopefully there will be uh, the increase or the advancement of our F&B industries that accelerated by digital process. The food and beverage industry contributed 6.4% to Indonesia's digital economy, with a significant opportunity for trade in digital trade. And the second is uh, long-lasting goods, for example, like footwear or any other kind of fashion. But don't forget to see or to what is it? To choose a best material, to choose the eco-friendly material as our vision on digital and green economy. And to accelerate or realize it well, we need to realize pentahelix connection, pentahelix cooperation or collaboration between 5 elements in commercial sector, public sector, non-governmental organizations, citizen and academy. We need to enhance the opportunities for first innovation based on complex social problems, system changes for increased resilience, sustainability, and democratic legitimacy, and the next meeting the needs of the citizens, and then system changes for of participating actors in order to meet complex societal challenges, and last but not least, developing new products and services in the borderland between the actors. We can't stand alone, but we need to collaborate each other. Not only both of countries, but also the 5 elements of each countries. We need to collaborate and elaborate each other. And our role as academica, hopefully the University of Indonesia and Tsinghua University can collaborate on research, training, and capacity building in digital technology. Not only just advancing the technology, the where, but also the talent, the human resource. And they can also facilitate partnerships between Chinese enterprises and Indonesian MSMEs, helping to bridge the gap between the 2 countries' digital economics.
You have 2 minutes left.
Yes. Last but not least, we must be grateful with our meeting today. We can know each other, and hopefully from this point we can continue our relations to any other productive and impactful movement, impactful relation. Sesya. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Mas Yoga Hediasa. The presentation is very good, even with the thank you from the Chinese. Okay, we move to the next presenter, so we can have the Q&A after this. It will be delivered by the Chu Yuan Yang. Whether you are going to do at the same time or one and one. Okay, please. Thank you so much. Show you. Okay.
Thank you.
You have 10 minutes.
Well, hello everyone. Good evening, good
Selamat.
afternoon, and I'm Zhou Yang from Tsinghua University, and I'm a freshman majored in English. And I think when I go on the stage, you may have so many problems. You see, why this girl again? And why your English major student have the courage to talk about such a topic? You know, the case study of China's new energy vehicle industry chain under the resonance of intelligence and overseas opportunities. And still, why can she really handle it? Or why there is a group of two, but only one of us is here on the stage? That is all strange, right? Yeah. So before I start my presentation, I shall first make an apology. Since some of our members have volunteered to do the presentation, that is Chu Yuebian, but she feels uncomfortable from yesterday evening till now and cannot complete the work. So unexpectedly, I need to take up her role and to stand here and share her topic with you guys. But since I do not have the background knowledge of either vehicle or business, though I have tried very hard to get a better understanding of my topic today, there will definitely be some mistakes or pronunciation or some misleading expressions, because I really can't understand that. I'm sorry for that. So I hope you guys can forgive me for that. And while in the period of ask and answer, I will need our group leaders and need to help with me. And still, I'm sorry for the large sum of explanation before my presentation. And now let's start our presentation. And the topic, case sharing of China's new energy vehicle industry chain under the resonance of intelligence and overseas opportunities. The second page. Oh, sorry. In the second page, that's a introduction of the green economy. That's a trend in the Chinese new energy vehicle industry chain, right? And the essence of the new energy vehicle is that the use of information and energy to achieve intelligence and electrification. And this trend continues to intensify. And we have a formula here that is new energy vehicles equals horsepower plus arithmetic. And so let's first talk about the first part, that's the use of information, that's the intellectualize. They have maybe 4 or more specifications. That's the master computing chip, the transducers, the connecting system, and the smart cabin. And automotive intelligence mainly involves perception sensors and decision making in body changes corresponding to the requirements of the number of increased, automatic requirements, etc. Mainly including autonomous driving, intelligent cockpit, intelligent classes, and other core track areas. And now the second part, the use of energy, that's motorization. To be more specific, that is the power cells, the battery management, the electronic control management, and so on. And the automotive electrification mainly involves motor management, battery management, electric driving management, requiring increased demand for high voltage, high frequent management, mainly including power battery management, and other core track areas. And now the second page. In this page, we gave out an introduction of the present circumstances of the development of the new energy vehicle industry chain. And you can see that the annual sales of a new energy vehicles exceed 10 millions, with China and the US expected to contribute major increasement. And new energy vehicles in major global markets maintain high growth, and China remains the top market. And we can say that there are a listed of numbers and data, and the two pictures here. They are all the data, and the first one is about the data and forecast about the new energy vehicle global sales, and the second one is a projected global contribution from a CME markets. And now the third one. In this page, we have a introduction about China's circumstances, and China exceeds expectations for accelerating penetration, huge scope for green economy development. And the change brings incredible opportunities, focusing on growth points under the innovation cycle. And the new energy market is rapidly discharging. The market space is huge. 2025 is expected to exceed 5 trillion beyond the smartphone. And automotive industry electric intelligence change continues to deepen. 2023 petrol rate of more than 30%. The core component into a sustained period of outbreak. 2022 new energy passengers car sales of such a big amount, and the development trend of automotive intelligent electrification is very similar to the development course of the smartphone industry. In the area of intelligent electric vehicles, China is expected to give birth to a large capitalization parts and component enterprise. The global new energy continues to grow at a higher rate, and global sales are expected to reach 25 million units in 2025, realizing a market space of about 5.5 trillion, surpassing that of smartphones. It is expected that by 2030, the penetration rate of a new energy will be further increased, and the space is expected to reach 10.6 trillion. And the two pictures are about the Chinese new energy passenger cars efficiency continue to grow at a higher rate. The petrol rate of the new energy. And the second one is about a comparison of overall future revenue from smartphones and new energy vehicles. Comparative.
You have 3 minutes left.
Okay. And this one is about the global market gambling, about Chinese and American car makers. They have the first mover advantage. But since I don't think that is focus of today's speech, so I'll just skip it. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry for that. I have just noticed that I didn't change that. I'm sorry. And yep, this page. And then the next one is about China's new energy intelligence was proceed to grow rapidly in the next 5 years. And then a trend of intelligentization, and that is actually a kind of status or maybe data about the different cars and their different sizes and wheelbases and chip suppliers and HUDs and intelligent interact systems and chip suppliers. But since I I truly have no knowledge of that. I cannot quite understand what this page is talking about, so I just skip it. And so, and this one is about electrification to achieve a breakthrough in the sea, intelligent to build the technical barriers of independent brands. You see, electrification is the first step by virtue of technological advantages descending to combat the overseas market oil car products to achieve the independent brand out of the sea. And intellectualization is the second step, and the technology platform is expecting to grow overseas in the low term, referring to Volkswagen Group's technology import from the domestic SAIC group. In the future, the powertrain technology that you have is superior to mine, will be transformed into an intelligent software platform that you didn't have. And through the accumulation of data to form the ability to snowball, to build high barriers, and the technology platform is expected to go to sea. And then the next one. It's about the global advantage of independent supply chain. And I think that one is mainly about China, so I'll just skip it and to talk about something that is in relation with China and Indonesia. Yeah, the future outlook. We can see that there's a rapid development of new energy vehicle industry and broad perspective for the China-Indonesia cooperation. And I'm sorry for that wrong spelling. And these are kind of, I think is the, you see, the policies that putting forward by the policymakers and some favorable policies selected by Chu Yuebian. And I think so. All in all, that is to say, it's really important and promising to have and focus on the development of new energy vehicle industry, and hope that the country of China and also of Indonesia can have a better cooperation in the future. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for all the presenters that already presented their materials, ideas, thinkings, and everything. So we will move to the question and answer discussion session for all of us. I would like to open this opportunity to all of you. Is there anyone who would like to ask? Because we already prepare the microphone to each rows. There are 2 microphones, and you can share it with anyone. If there's someone want to ask, please raise your hands. I'll give you the chance and opportunity. But before that, before you are still thinking about the questions, I would like to address at least maybe 2 questions to our distinguished, our proud students from Tsinghua University, especially to Xiaoxi and also Chou Yang, if I'm mistaken. So the first question that will be addressed by me is actually about, I have seen that Clement also presented about the regulation from the Chinese government about the online gambling, something like that. I would like to ask also maybe to the Clement about, is it illegal or legal doing the gambling in the China and the online gambling? So this is my first question to Clement, especially about the online gambling in China. How actually government regulate it, and is there any maybe lesson learned that maybe could also implement in Indonesia for how to regulate the gambling or the online gambling, because it is becoming government concern about this. This is the first one. To Xiaoxi, I would like to ask about the application in the China, especially for the finance and also finance payment gateway. Is there any kind of issue or scam issue about this application, because also about the security of data that the owner give to the bank or the applications. Is there ever any case about the scamming issue by using the applications? And the last one, for Chow Yang, I would like to ask about so there is a case in Indonesia about the investment and also energy. So there is a Chinese investment in the Sumatra Island, which we call Rembang Island. Rembang Island. So the Chinese Rempang Island in Batam Islands. The Chinese investment is putting the investment to make an eco city, which is related to the green economy, but it is not for some parts of Indonesian society or some Indonesian organizations. The investment creating conflict, especially social conflict, with the population in there. So, do you have any idea to solve that kind of green economy investment to the Indonesia, and to solve this kind of social conflict that created by the green economy or the green investment that made by the Chinese government? That's the three questions that I would like to raise to address to you guys. So hopefully you have the question. And please, if there is some question for each other presenters, we could also address it to them directly, or just give it to someone. Maybe we can discuss it later. Yes, please. Who's going to? Yes, there is Mas Aap also wants to ask. There's a microphone there. Yes, you can directly ask.
Thank you for all the presentation. It's really good to know the perspective from Indonesian student and Tsinghua student about the development of digital economy. I want to ask a question in Tsinghua perspective or Chinese perspective. Why the penetration of digital economy is so high? It's like 70 or 80% digital economy presentation about in Chinese society, but in Indonesia there is lack of penetration of digital economy, especially in the rural area. What's in your perspective, what the major concern why digital economy in Indonesia doesn't develop well is based on the infrastructure or regulation? Because in China, I think there is a different perspective how regulated work and infrastructure building in there rather than Indonesia. So, in your perspective, what Indonesia need to advance the penetration of digital economy in here? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question. So, Mas Aap is actually questioning about the economic or digitalization, penetration of the digital economy from the China government to Indonesia, and what we need to do, especially to embrace this kind of digitalization and attempt from the Chinese enterprises. So maybe Clement would love to answer my question first, and then someone can also answer Mas Aap questions.
Jadi saya jawab yang pertanyaan soal regulasi dulu ya, Mas. Oke. So first of all, because I'm not Chinese and my major is not directly at law, so probably I'm not a professional at this, but this is my personal humble opinion. So I think the first one is about is it illegal or not? It's illegal in China, but gambling, it's not online gambling, but gambling is allowed in special areas like Macau and also Hong Kong, right? Because it's their main industries. But the second part is about regulations concerning maybe financial loans and also online gambling. I think probably it's by the regulations issued by the PBOC, or the People's Bank of China, where all financial or like digital loans that are granted for people are really strictly how do you say censorized and are also strictly regulated. So like people have to register their identity number, have to register all their financial accounts and also their financial conditions, and so there are like detailed accounts on why they need that loans in the first place in order to minimize the loans going to online gambling or maybe to other activities. So I think that's one of the solutions by the Chinese government. But yeah.
Gambling is actually illegal.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking that since gambling is allowed maybe in China, so it will be also allow the online gambling because it's just the gambling. Okay, all right. That's fine. That's good. Good answer from you. Yes, Shaoxi? You can put on the switch on the microphone.
Wait. Thank you for your question. And I'd like to confirm that your question is the issue of this application when we applying the technology of Wangshan Bank, right? As you may see in my speech, data is very important in financial field, and almost data is everything. So I'd like to explain the developing history of Wangshan Bank, how to obtain the data, of its history. And due to the time limit, so I didn't explain its history completely. And I think there are 3 stages of Wangshan Bank to apply his technology, and there are some issues during their applications. The first stage is the combination of Taobao. So as you may know, Taobao is a very famous app in China, and people will buy items on the internet. So they use Taobao's data to have an assessment to give loans to farmers. And this is the first stage, but they found that there are some problems that the data isn't very complete, and they have incentive to hide their drawbacks to some extent. So to the next stage, they hope to cooperate with government, like some county government known as 兰考, and we call it a 兰考 model. So it is a model that the bank cooperate with government and get data from their about the land right and other data. So this we think it is a successful step, and then we get to the third step, that is the great tech technology, and as you may see in the previous speech. So that's the 3 stages, and the issues I think during their developing. Yeah, so that's my answer. Thank you.
Yes. Before maybe Chow Young wants to answer my question, is there anyone wants to answer Mas Aap questions about James, I think?
Okay. So my name is James. I'm from the School of Economics and Management, and it's a very good question from about the digitalization between Indonesia and China. And what I've studied in China for about 1 years already, and I've experienced a lot of the economic changes between Indonesia and China. In China, they have mass adopted by using WeChat Pay and Alipay, which has been explained by Clement. WeChat Pay and Alipay. So like if they want to pay for something, buy something in the supermarket, in the malls, and even at the streets, in the street vendors, they use WeChat Pay and Alipay. Even though like the shops is really small, even though like pedagang kaki lima, they all have like a QR code to pay WeChat Pay and Alipay, and this is starting to be adopted by the Bank of Indonesia, which we have also visited in this trip, and they adopted the QRIS. They are starting to develop the QRIS slowly, so that the Indonesian people can start to develop this digitalization and this digital economy. Yes.
You have any commentaries?
Basically pertanyaannya tuh sebenarnya apa sih yang membedakan digitalisasi antara Cina dan Indonesia? Di mana di Cina itu penetrasi internet penggunaan digital ekonomi itu mencapai 70 sampai 80%. Tapi kalau kita lihat di Indonesia itu hanya terfokus di kota-kota besar di Jakarta, mungkin Bandung dan Yogyakarta. Tetapi di kota-kota kecil itu masih belum banyak menggunakan. Apakah itu yang menghambat digital ekonomi di Indonesia tuh apakah infrastrukturnya atau regulasinya sebenarnya ketika kita melihatnya dengan China kayak gitu loh.
May I
Yeah.
answer?
Yes, please.
Okay. So from my perspectives, there are three parts where maybe we could reform on it. The first one is infrastructures, because as we know, telecommunication infrastructures like for internet connections, it's really fast. Even if you go to like outside the urban territories in China, like to villages and stuff, they have a very good internet infrastructure, a large expansive network. So I think in the tech side, it does provide supports for penetration, while Indonesia is still developing on these sides. And I think, for example, I was from Pekanbaru, a city in Sumatra. So in there, a lot of people have already adopted the digital economy, but through some parts, like for example, in the traditional markets, for example, or for example, pedagang kaki lima, the street stalls on the streets, they don't actually adopted this kind of technology. I think one of the reasons is also because of the infrastructures and the technological sides that hasn't reached to that part. But the second part is about education and socialization, which I think is really important. In China, there are how to say procedures and also like materials that are delivered through the internet, because most of the aging people in China, they have although they are a bit struggling with using digital technology, but they are slowly learning to adopting this new technology. And as a result, government could also spread education, socialization about using digital payment, about using applications through the phones and stuff. And therefore, they are more progressive in terms of their transition. And the third is probably regulation, which I think through China's centralized government and the system itself, which directly told the provincial governments and all the governments within the like kabupaten gitu, Mas.
District.
The districts to implement digitalization, to implement socialization to the elders, to the young individuals. I think it does help to progress the penetration of digital economy in China. Yeah, that's all.
May
Thank
I
you.
ask maybe a little bit more about the lesson learned anyway? What Indonesian can have as the lesson learned to digitalize, especially rural area in the village, compared to what Chinese government did? And I would like to ask, have you ever been to the Xinjiang anyway, the eastern tip? Because I am afraid that there's also a gap of development, especially like in Indonesia, we have developed the western part, but not so in the eastern part. This is something in the term of digitalization. I mean, in the Xinjiang area, maybe. So maybe you could ask Annie, please. Yes.
Okay, I would like to answer this question. Hi, JJ. Thank you for all the organization parts first. Actually, for Xinjiang province, I would like to introduce this province. Its main industry is the tourism industry. So in order to attract tourism and to make their traveling there easier, so Xinjiang's government had made great efforts to put in digitalization in their province, especially the big cities, as Professor Hani also mentioned in the morning, such as Urumqi and Hami and Tulufan and so on. Because in Xinjiang, people often drive to visit different places at different stops where they could have a break. In the markets, they also prepare the QR codes for the visitors to scan. So I think how to make network between the QR codes and different kinds of payments and social media apps such as WhatsApp or WeChat is very important. It is a bit hard to make people download many applications at one time. So maybe we need to focus on what apps we already have. Most people rely on and are dependent on already, and then we can build networks with the payment and also the social media apps. I think that is how they manage to implement QR codes and also digitalization in Xinjiang provinces.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Ethan. Do you want to have some comments or asking something? Switch on this. It's on already? There you go.
Okay. I was just gonna ask, do you think it's a security issue or privacy issue if one app monitors your spending, your movement, and your text messages, and is owned or kind of has the people who own it tell the government what's going on in the app? Do you think that's a privacy issue for Indonesia as well?
To whom you are to address to?
Anyone who wants to answer.
Oh, anyone who can answer about the privacy issue.
Maybe any other wants to answer this question. I can answer it too. Okay. Actually, I have been thinking and concerning about this question because me personally also learned German for 8 years. And in German, they have a word called Datenschutz. It means data protection. They value it very much. So in this world, how could we protect our data? Also, I am concerning it very much. But actually, I have observed a phenomenon. Actually, Japan, it is a neighbor country to us. It is already using the Chinese payments apps, Alipay, in almost all stores and restaurants. So I think our team needs more research on how Japanese governments have evaluated this kind of solution and what are the main techniques that can let them be let their worries go away. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes, Mas. Bagus. Wait. 1, 2, 3. You have something else?
Yeah, I think I just want to put additional from our colleagues from Tsinghua University because they already mentioned about what's the main agenda that we can push to Indonesian government to have the biggest, the more digitalization. They focus on infrastructure, and also our colleagues already mentioned about the
Privacy.
but the rules of the privacy. I would like to mention about the government support from the government support to the China big tech. I would like to mention China. Indonesia have decacorn, Indonesia have unicorn, but not all of these one include the as a big tech. They're not
Okay.
big tech, but the big tech is the like the umbrella of this unicorn and decacorn. I would like to mention maybe like Expedia, Hillhouse Capital, Hera Capital, Tencent Holdings, etc.
Tencent.
They are all supported by the government itself. So
Okay.
if Indonesia would like to reboost our digitalization, we need to also give the support. And also, I would like to mention about the digital data privacy,
Privacy.
digital data privacy regulation. I think it would be the next war.
Yeah.
Like US already have their own digital data protection, and also EU tried to push the EU GDPR, General Data Protection, to all of developing countries, include Indonesia, to compatible with them. And I think China did also. So the next agenda would like become the war between this digital data protection regulation. I don't know what happened next, but I think it's important for us to make sure that digital data protection, involve the civil society, involve the academics to the regulation.
Yes, this is a very high concern actually between Indonesia and that the data bribery, data leakage is very common things in Indonesia now. Okay, I think everyone would like yes to ask.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to ask a question pertaining to your presentation that is talking about the green economy. Uh, it's an interesting issue that is currently going on in Indonesia on understanding how the transition of the green economy should be. But I think what is normally left out is trying to look at if there's human capacity building that can accommodate this transition. We are talking about investment that is needed, but I'm not hearing anything that is like the capacity building that's needed for the people to actually apprehend what this investment should bring. So I think, what do you think in your own presentation about if you want to give something to people that to benefit them, especially we have this goal in the SDGs that no one should be left
Left
behind.
behind. Yes.
I think if you put investment more on like the transition, but what about the people that needs to take along that transition? I think, what's your opinion about that, and how do you think that is really captured in the Indonesian policy towards this transition? And that's what I want to ask. Thank you.
Okay, before yes, I would like also to hear my answer for me from Chao Yang about the how to solve this conflict, social conflict in regards with the Chinese government to the related to the green economy or green investment to Indonesia.
Let me make sure of the problem again. That is it the a topic between the green investment and the local people
Yes.
conflict. Yeah. So at first, I shall talk about that why there will be a conflict. A green lifestyle is actually it's a good one, right?
Yes.
It's for the shared future of humanity is something we want to achieve, and it will be beneficial for everyone. So why would there be a conflict? And again, local people, they're not bad guys, right? They will follow the way that they think will be beneficial for their well-being. So from my personal perspective, I think there's some reasons for the conflict. That is, the things that we put in is not actually, cheap enough, or actually, they it's not as convenient as the recent lifestyles. There have to be a change from the lifestyles of the past and of the future. But in that way, there should be something, the driven force for the transformation. But today, the driven force is not, strong enough. And in that case, it's hard for us to make the transformation. And still, there are some solutions, and the first one is about further research on what the people really need and what kind of transformation they can find it suitable, and they can agree to that. And but you see, the innovations need a lot of time, and in that case, it cannot be a short-term strategy. Currently, if we want to solve these problems, I think the most of the power lies in the education. That is the importance of a greener lifestyle. So why we should, chase this lifestyle? Even we need to, uh, give back some of our personal benefits, and we cannot have that because we need to do so. And what's the outcome if we do not actually follow such kind of lifestyle? And that's all what I want to answer this question.
Okay, thank you so much for the answer. So let me elaborate a little bit more about the case in Rempang Island. So this is about the people acceptance to the investment actually, and also about the eco city, the so-called eco city is not really eco city for them because it is depriving their rights to the land. That's why there is some opposition to the investment because they feel like this is injustice. Things that actually government push to the people, but the somehow the investment also did not want to think about the people. They just want to invest and the rest will be the government's case, not for us. They said the way we are construct the justice or the balance between the investment and also the people acceptance is such a concern for the people back then. And also about the prudent, the way the investment can be invested prudently, it is also a case for Indonesian government because somehow they feel like it is a cowboy investment. You know, cowboy somehow just like bribe some officials and then make the investment comes true for them and they get the profit while the people is actually the one who got all the loss, including the disaster potencies and other things. Because we've been like questioning, people especially questioning about the investment. We have seen last couple weeks ago, the one of the biggest nickel company was having a very big wildfire in the kitchen in the fabric smelter in Sulawesi Island ya Mas ya. Just because the I think the regulation or the safety of the fabric itself it is not so controlled by the government. That's it. That's all. There's such elaboration. If you have any other comments, you can also add some more. And I think maybe Mas Bagus would like to answer the questions from Debrima.
Thank you, Ibrahim. What a short, lovely question from you. So, yeah, I would like to mention that the green economy, green investment, not only focus on the product itself. So that's why in the last presentation I mentioned about the mainstreaming of the just energy transition. What kind of just energy transition is a way to reconcile needs of the purest human material in the planet with the need to maintain the stability of the Earth's climate. So the challenge of the energy transition was three: the employment, environment degradation, and also inequality. Employment, we also note that there are so many people who works on the energy sector, on the fossil fuel sector, on the fossil fuel sector, coal sector, etc. A lot of people who works there. So what kind of the energy transition would impact the employment to these workers? So that's why our focus on the just energy transition is to have a transition not only for the energy sector but also to the workers to works on the clean energy, to works on the green energy. It would be focused on the capacity building for them to have another capacity to work on the green energy, and also the degradation, environment degradation. The energy transition would impact to like I already mentioned about the nickel production to the raw materials production. It could impact to the local people also. That's why the just energy transition should make the involve engagement to the civil society. So the civil society must be involved in every step of the energy transition itself. And I would like to mention also on the investment also. So for the investment, not only for green investment, not only for the product, the last product of the investment itself, but it should be involved the every single person who lives in the place of the investment. So if there is nobody have the good impact to the investment, so what the investment for? So that's why we need to put the people center approach in every needs of the energy transition. I think we could have a lot of discussion about this, but the main challenge to just energy transition would like to explore more about the good governance on the planning of the energy transition itself, to the invest on the peoples also, to the social safety, to financing mechanism, etc. It must be explore more about the people-centered approach. And I think the last one about the energy transition itself also need focus to the public and social dialogue itself. So it would be important for us to make sure that the energy transition. I forgot to mention about the result from the G20. Unfortunately, the just energy transition term itself already occupied by the G20, and also it's already maintained by the developed countries to the developing countries. But unfortunately, the result from the G20 for the JETP itself, it's 98% of the financial mechanism, the financing mechanism to support the just energy transition, it's loan. So it
Yes.
could be impact to the developing countries, because if it's loan, we need to pay the loan for the energy transition. Even the energy transition come from the
Yeah.
North countries, from rich countries. Rich countries need to reduce the energy transition. They need to have a green deal, like I mentioned, EU Green Deal, US IPEF have the third pillar. So, but they push us as the developed countries, as the developing countries, to have the energy transition, but they didn't have support us include on the investment. Even they already have the mechanism of financing, they give us as a loan. So we need to have sort cooperation between China and Indonesia. As Xi Jinping already mentioned that China would support the energy transition in developing countries. So it should be we need to push this one. We need to push this commitment. So the sort cooperation to energy transition would like have the more inclusive one. I think that's all.
Thank you, Mas Agung. I think it is also related with the greenflation. Yes, the greenflation. Yes, and I think both of you wants to share something. Yes, please. Okay, you can do subsequently. Yeah, please,
Okay.
Mas Maaf.
I'm really interested with the answer by Mas Yoga. My question is that right now China is the
Mas
leading.
Agung actually.
Oh, Mas Agung, sorry.
Yoga's dead.
Mas Agung, I'm really interested because like nowadays China is the leading country in green industry, but when China try to invest in green industry from to another country, there is also like in the what cost. The many article in foreign article is when China invest green industry in the what cost. But when European or Western country try to invest green industry, there is never what cost.
Yes.
What do you think about this issue? Is this become a problem for developing country who need to invest in green industry, or this is just to make an equitable between China investment and Western investment in developing country? Is this bad or good for Indonesia in the future or any other developing country itself? Thank you.
Okay, so Mas Aap address the question to Mas Agung, right? So please, Ethan.
I think you touched on your PowerPoint about job creation. I wanted to know how you see that happening in developing countries such as Kenya or any other or developing countries in the Middle East and Indonesia. How do you see Indonesia and China maybe teaching people in those countries how to create the things that are needed for the BRI, or do you see you guys bringing your own workers to do that type of stuff?
Okay. Before we move to that Mas, I would like also to ask Mas Yoga anyway. Since you already mentioned about the FNB and the opportunity to the Chinese enterprises to invest more in the FNB, this is only my really commoner insight about the FNB industry in Indonesia. If we see to the malls, the center of shopping, we will be we'll be witness that there are three kinds of restaurant that occupy the mall the most. The first is actually Japanese restaurant. The second one is actually Chinese restaurant. And the third one is Western restaurant. So like a burger, McDonald's, fried chicken, and other else. if we are talking about the Chinese, it is about dim sum, imperial kitchen, noodles, and anything, and Japanese on top of all. So the thing that I would like to ask is there any possibility that we counterattack to the Chinese by exporting our FNB to promote to the Chinese, maybe bringing the Indonesian enterprises to the China and let them invest to the market, and let's see how it goes. You can answer it later. We will hear from the guy next to you first. Mas, please, yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you, guys. I want to ask to Chu Ye Bian. Sorry, that's. Oh, she's not here. Maybe James, you're the management major, right? But the last one I said in their presentation about the target of the electric cars in Indonesia by 2015 is I think it's very difficult because uh, I'm I myself am skeptical about this target because is in term of business, mining energy such as petroleum is very profitable, and for some automatic lover like me, and is the oil engine is powerful more than the electrical, because in my opinion, the petrol car is good for the power, like uh, in Sumatra. I'm Sumatra, and I'm from Padang, and our guys in Singhua, you are from Pekanbaru, right? Uh, the and there because the little city, the electric car is not very profitable to sell. Maybe in big city it can be possible, but in the little city like in Sumatra, Kalimantan, or in Papua is very difficult. And then uh, and then the distribution of the electric recharging infrastructure will be difficult as the electrical vehicle market is still lacking in Indonesia. And my question is, what do you think about the possible failure of the corporation goals to realize the electric car sales in Indonesia? And do you have any idea to uh, to overcome it? Thank you.
I think those questions are really interact to each other and interchange. So I think we need to little by little get answers from the to whom that we actually address. Maybe from us. Yes, I go first.
Yeah, it's such a hard question actually. But I don't know what exactly happened between the European investment and also the differences with the Chinese investment. But even in the at the level itself, China investment mostly in for example, mostly in nickel production in Indonesia. Mostly China, the China investment on the nickel sectors, mostly they agree with the Indonesia regulation. They put the smelters. Even we also have some problem with the smelters itself, but mostly China investment also agree. The a lot of company, a lot of investment in Indonesia who support the regulation from Indonesia government is come from the Chinese company. But I don't know why what the difference is if we our point of view about the European enterprises in the European investment and differences in China investment. I think we need to have more elaboration on it because but anyway, European investment also need agree with our national regulation. But unfortunately, some of the European investment in Indonesia, they didn't have a good perspective, and they bring up us to the WTO appellate body. So fortunately, the appellate body is still blocked by the US, so there's no problem on that. For the BRI itself, I think uh, I'm not a big fan of BRI also actually. But what I mentioned is BRI, if it's sustained, it it should be maximized to have a huge investment to accelerate the green economy itself because it will support the supply chain of the technology, uh, give the support of the supply chains, and also give the support for to reboost our to phase out the fossil fuels infrastructure. But I'm not sure about the workers impact from the BRI, but I think for the supply chain, BRI should be maximized for the support our technologies to have a green economy. I think that's all. Maybe we can have more elaboration on it. You want to put it?
I think on the first question, rather, I am from Africa, so the narratives and counter narratives about investment from China or from Europe, it's based on one thing: the narrative that Chinese can give you any loans that you need, but you don't actually know what's the regulations for it. You don't know the intent. That's the notion that we have in Africa. No, no. The European, it's for the cause. It's very clear. It's for good governance and stronger institutions. Yeah, that is what it's the narrative that is taken. But for China, it's like no regulations attached. But if you are not able to pay the loans on these grants, extensions are not given to you on those courses because you can see the scenarios in Zambia and other African countries is that their airports are being taken and controlled by the Chinese investments that are being given there because these loans cannot be repaid. So because of these narratives, now there is this notion, especially in Africa. I'm talking from the context of Africa. People are very mindful of what these taking these investments and not just investments that do take place, but loans and grants that we take from them because there is this narrative. I think it's more of what it comes with rather than what it is. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ebrima. Before we have more answers, this is the last chance I will give to commenters, especially to Bianca. But after this, I just need the answer and we will end the session because we actually have the appointment for the afternoon tea, which actually has been appointed. Then, so please, Bianca, this is the last chance to have the commentary or the questions. I think it's switched on already, yes.
This is about the BRI. Considering the transparency issues with the BRI, one big concern is the high debt levels for countries involved. Some nations might find it hard to pay back loans to China, possibly leading to Chinese influence over domestic policies. Also, certain countries may not be financially stable for the BRI. So what's the plan to help these struggling nations? And how does the BRI aim to handle tensions between neighboring countries and security worries?
Okay, to whom you will address the questions, Bianca? To anyone? Anyone who can answer, okay. Then I will have a very quick answer from Mas Yoga first about my questions, and then we can move to the answer. Yes, please, about the potential.
Okay, thank you about the food and beverage that I've mentioned. In this discussion, I don't address it to just about the Chinese dishes, but the point is how we can get the knowledge or the management skills, especially from Chinese industries, to foster our SMEs. For example, with the cooperation, hopefully our SMEs can upgrade the management or the supply chain for F&B industries, and also for this marketing on digital platforms. So it's not just about the expand of the business or of the Chinese culinary, but how with the relations we built, we can foster our what is it, our business each other, not only from just a side, but both side, and upgrading the skills of the actors. That's what I mean.
Okay, thank you, Mas Yoga. And then the answer for the yes, Xiaoya. Who? Yes, please, if you like.
Okay, I'm gonna answer for your questions
Yes.
that you asked about the profitability of electric cars in, yeah. But I feel like this is why green economy was established. Green economy is made to have sustainable economy in the future, so we don't have things such as climate change, global warming, and stuff. So the establishment of green economy is not to reach the full profitability, but to reach sustainability. Of course, fuel companies are gonna go down in profits and stuff, but our goal is to reach sustainability. And we come here to introduce green economy and digital economy is to provide Indonesia for the technology needed to establish it for the whole country and not only Jakarta. And maybe I wanna add a comment to some questions that was asked here. We shouldn't bring geopolitical stuff here. We are academicians. We bring technology forward. We push technology forward. Like if you tell us about investment from Chinese company to Batam and stuff, and it is the company that brought the technology and our government that accepts it. If the government doesn't accept it, they can call the police. They can ask the force to kick them out from the Batam investment, right? So it's not about the political that happens in there, but what we offer and why does the government accepts it. So I don't think political stuff should be brought here. We only brings technology and we introduce them here. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, James, please. Wait for a while. All right.
Okay. I want to add up to the EV question. So I want to add up to Andrew. Like, so in the PPT, it is mentioned that 2050 in Indonesia, the electric vehicle will be mass adopted. Yeah, and it is a goal that we should have in a vision in our heads, because my friend did a research in the EV uh, in the EV industry, and it is stated that in the over 20 years of the total car usage, the total carbon output is still bigger than the carbon output of the so the carbon output of the EV over the 20 years of the car usage is big, but it's still smaller than the carbon output of the petroleum car. So the carbon output of the EV is big because of the production of the battery. It is consists of nickel and some stuff. It it outputs some nickel, but it's in the long run it will be more sustainable than the petroleum car. And in my opinion, like it is a good opportunity for Indonesia to adopt the green economy because in the long run, it will be more sustainable than the petroleum car. And now it will be a big initial investment in the start, but it will give us a big advantage in the long run. And then adding up to the Eco City in Rempang, and from Indonesian perspective, I think like the investment uh, from other countries, it is all about policy. Like it is the job of the Indonesian policy to like
Police, Indonesian government policy.
policy of yeah
National police or policy?
policy
Policy.
policy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it is it is a good vision, right, to promote green economy in Indonesia, invest in Indonesia in green economy. It is a good vision, but it is a job of the Indonesian of the policy to like regulate so that it will not be a downfall to the Indonesian population.
Okay, the last questions will be answered by Jim. Clement?
Um, okay, the first question I will address is probably the implementation of like renewable energy transition, right, in like small cities in Padang or maybe Pekanbaru and stuff. So because I'm coming from electrical engineering, so and I'm particularly interested within this sector. So what China has did is first making a lot of research facilities, especially in technologicals and engineering ones, and especially in energy sectors. They have a lot of advancement. If you ever heard about energy internet, which is a centralized system that is consisted of renewable energy reserves and conservational energy like coal and then petroleums and natural gases. It also consists of like routers and energy management systems in order to increase the efficiency and effectivity of the whole thing. So regarding your question is about the in profitability of this implementation, right? So one of the solutions, one of the problems of renewable energy is actually about how fluctuating the production rate it is due to geographical locations or influences, like let's say the sunlight or even the wind speed on sometimes during the year. The production rate is not always constant throughout. So what a lot of engineers are designing right now is energy storage, on how we can store the energy that is how do you say there are more than there are more than the amount that we consume at a day, and how we can use that energy during peak demand. So in this way you can stabilize the electricity prices, right? So for example, in high demand you will use the electricity you use in a low demand, and vice versa. So this is one of the implementations by Chinese, and they also build like small and medium power plants for these small cities. So the operational and the marginal cost is not as big, and then you can calculate the profitability of the power plants itself for generating electricity for a small community. And probably for the second question, which is regarding the loans given by BRI program in itself. This is from my personal perspective, but I think loans that are coming from World Bank and also IMF are more, I would say, a bit destructive to the economy that they are giving to. Like, let's say, let's just take the economic crisis that happens in Indonesia in '98, where the World Bank told the Indonesian government to close its aviator industry at the point where it is almost successful at that point, which is initiated by Bapak B.J. Habibie, right? And I think that stops one potential industry in Indonesia that could potentially grow a lot of money for Indonesia, right? So, and a lot of the loans coming from those international organizations also have high interest rates compared to loans that are given by China, which I think are considerably low, which is why countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and other countries in Africa and Southeast Asia are taking that loans in the first place. And considering that you can have the development of your the economic development given by these loans to build infrastructures like high-speed railway, like other logistic infrastructures, which increases the economic connectivity in the areas and eventually given bonus GDP or like yeah profit for that country that would be, I think, will be a lot more than the amount of loan that it has to pay back to China. So I don't think that's a problem for the for the loans itself. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, I think that's all for today. It's very fascinating and mesmerizing to have such a lively discussion. Please give an applause for us all. The tension is rising anyway, but we could reduce it by the afternoon tea since we already have the appointment for the afternoon tea in the Hotel Millennium after this. So, guys, thank you for the discussion and this mini conference. It won't be successful without you, and the activation, the participation from all of you guys. And on behalf of School of Strategic and Global Studies, Universitas Indonesia, we are thanking you again, and we wish you a very good days during your stay in Indonesia, and hope we can see also for another agenda in another occasions. So thank you for today. I would like to greet you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And let's have a photo group in front of the screen and monitor. Yes. Okay, guys. Okay, bebas.